Hi, North LA. My name is Selena Lopez. I'm the Executive Director for the North LA region.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Hooper. I'm the Client Service Manager and Office Manager for North LA.
So today we are going to do a training video on cancellations and how you mark those in Central Reach. Cassie's going to go through how to do that. We'll turn the camera around so you could see how you do that. But before we get into that, I want to talk about the purpose of what we're doing and why it's so important. So we use this data in many ways, and we need to make sure that the data that's being pulled from Central Reach is accurate. For example, we use this data to give to funding sources on whether your client has actually been doing all their weekly prescribed hours. So it's very important that it's accurately marked. In addition, we have some great incentive programs for you guys, and we do lots of giveaways, and that's contingent upon you marking your schedule right. So if you don't have the ability to, or you don't understand how to mark makeup, it's not going to count towards a raffle entry for the Disneyland tickets. So you don't want to do this wrong. Another reason is feedback. We do want to be able to give you guys feedback on the reports we're pulling. And we do pull reports on excessive cancellations for both you and your families. So when you're not doing this correctly, it may even show up like you're canceling more than you really are. So we want to be able to show you and use this video as a resource that you can access at any time to make sure that you are doing it correctly. So without any delay, let's go into Cassie, who's going to walk us through our first one, and then we'll turn the camera around.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to go over is cancellation. So just a few reminders. The first reminder that I wanted to make sure you guys know is that anytime you mark a session canceled in Central Reach, it's going to pull as a cancellation. I know that sounds pretty basic, but I just want to make sure that you're aware of that it does pull. So please know that if you guys are, the first thing that you guys should be aware of is if you have a session where the parent changed the time to a different time within that same day, meaning, for example, your session was from 3 to 5 and now it got moved to 1 to 3. You do not need to cancel that session. You simply need to open the session and change the time. If you cancel the session and then create a new session within that same day, for the new time, it will count as a cancellation. So please don't do that.
It counts against you.
Yeah, it counts against you. And I've been seeing that quite often. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that because, like I said, it will count for you guys as canceling.
You want to show that one now?
Okay, so just to show you guys what that means for you when you are looking at your session. Session is from 1 to 4. Let's say that the family wants to change it 3 to 5. You're going to click on the session, go to full details, and you're going to change the time at the top to 3 p.m. ending at 5 p.m.
And you can do that on your phone.
Yes. In addition, you're just going to want to be sure that the time here is also changed. If you see, it's giving me a different end time. So what I need to do here is change the amount of hours to 2 and click enter. Now you can see that the correct time is showing in the authorization along with the appointment length. And then you'll update appointment, save. When sometimes in this option it says save, or it says something like save all, you're going to want to make sure you click only the save button, because then if you click the other option, it'll change all of the sessions associated with that appointment. Okay, it says, oh, there's an error.
Show them the error.
Let's see, we got an error. Error saving the appointment. Okay, let's try again. Save. Okay, now it was saved. So you see sometimes there are errors, but it might have just been a brief data
glitch.
Yeah. So we'll go back, and now the session is saved. 3 to 5. That is how you guys should be saving any time changes within the same day. No, the other one, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so now I just want to be sure also that you guys are aware we talked about saving sessions and changing the time within the same day. If you guys are changing a session or canceling a session for that day and replacing it on another day, I want to be sure you know how to do that. So this is for canceling a session and adding the makeup on another day. We're going to go ahead and open the session. We'll say that the family wanted to change or cancel the session from 3 to 5. You're going to go ahead and go to cancel event and go to reason for canceling. This is really important, selecting the appropriate reason for canceling. You should not be using any of these: client cancellation, other, provider cancellation, or provider change. We did send an email about that in the past. We need to be sure that we're getting more specifics in regards to what the cancellation type was. So you should only really be using client cancellation advance notice, client cancellation no-show, client cancellation same day, staff advance notice is something that scheduling typically would use. Staff cancellation approved time off is something that they would also usually use. So you guys would use staff no-show or staff same day. Okay? So please be aware of those when you're selecting a cancellation type. So let's say that the family gave us advance notice that they want to cancel. We'll go ahead and select that and cancel the appointment. Okay, so now you don't see it there. So now let's go ahead and create the new session. We'll pretend that they want to make it up next Saturday. Okay, and we'll go ahead and create the session for 1 p.m. I just selected anywhere on the screen for that same day that you want to create the session for, and then open the session. Now you're going to just change the time. So the session was from 3 to 5 before, so the session now will be 1 to 3 for 2 hours. Okay, you're gonna make the appointment with whatever the client's name is. So since we're in a test account, I'm gonna use our test client. Okay, this is important. The appointment type always, no matter if it's makeup time or whatever the session is that you're creating, it needs to be behavior technician 1-to-1. There are only a few times that would change, and it would be something the office does. In the event labels, you're going to make sure to add the makeup tag. This is extremely important. If you don't enter the makeup tag, it will not be counted as a makeup. Please be sure not to enter it in the course labels, rather enter it in the single event label. If you enter it in the course labels, it'll go on to any appointment that's associated with this. Okay, so you guys should only be putting it in the single event label. You're going to go ahead and add your authorization, whichever auth it is, and make sure that it extends for the length of the appointment. So the appointment's from 1 to 3, so we're good here. And then we're going to create the appointment. Okay, appointment saved, we're good. So now if you guys see the appointment, you'll see that the makeup tag is here. Again, it's important that it's in this single event labels and not the recurring event labels. Okay, so the next scenario that we're going to run through is if you are adding makeup time to an already scheduled session. So for example, your session is from 9 to 12, but you're adding half an hour for makeup time. A lot of people think that you should just change the length of this appointment to be 9 to 12:30. However, that is incorrect. If you do that, and you tag it with a makeup tag, it's going to take the entire session from 9 to 12:30 as makeup time when you're only actually adding half an hour. So what you need to do is you need to create a second session. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the screen, and if you see there, it's asking if I want to create an appointment, and I'm saying yes. So now same rules apply with creating your session. Make sure that you change the time to 12 to 12:30 since it's only half an hour that you're making for you're adding for makeup time. Select the client that is applicable in this circumstance. Again, the appointment type is always behavior technician 1-to-1. And then you're going to add the makeup time label. Lastly, you're going to add an authorization. And
always paraprofessional, right? BTs.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. And you're always going to make sure that this time is accurate. It matches the time at the top. And then you're going to click create appointment. So now if you go back to the calendar, you can see that there's half an hour, a half an hour session here. Let me hide that. And if you click on the session, it says makeup. Now if you click on the regular session, it doesn't say makeup because that is not the makeup session. The only time you're adding the tag is on the actual makeup session.